folks, Jack Spirko here. I got the camera woman with me running the iPhone today so you can actually see me. It's been a while since we did an update out here, so I wanted to show you kind of what we're working on now. We've got the third bed in that I showed you guys when we had started constructing it. Before we go to still building more beds, and we're going to start the bed this way on the contour, we decided to go ahead and start working on the grading and putting stuff and getting things ready for the major overall catchment. So if you come in here, camera woman, you can show people here how we've removed about an inch, a half inch to an inch, depending on where we were at, what we needed to do of topsoil, all the way around this bed, including out in front of it a couple feet, and going about 3 foot past it. This will again be our basically the same thing as a sill in a swale system. So right here is where we stop. So the next bed in this row will start right here, and that'll allow water to flow through. You can see how each bed offsets. So each sill offsets, so the water has a chance to spread out. So this whole thing will catch water. Now what I've been using to do this, and I don't think I could have done this job without, is the Rogue hoe. You see the Rogue there with the elephant face. A listener told me about this a long time ago and said I should get one for the work that I was doing. And this is one of those things when you finally buy it, you wish you would have listened a long time ago. If you want a good hoe, this is it. What I'm going to do is, you can pretty much see what's been done here. We'll come back later, we'll show you when we add the wood chips what it starts to look like. It'll all start to make sense, how this all interlocks, how it all works together. But what I want to show you right now is how good this thing works. So if the camera woman will follow me. One over here so you can see the hoe. So obviously this is where we'll have to come next, and we'll have to start leveling this out. And this is hard ground, and this thing eats it, sod and all, for lunch. Boy, it'll give you an ab workout. But you can see to go down a half inch is just no real trouble. Even here where we got some sod, it just eats it. So that'll be the next part of the project is back here. But before we do this, we'll come back and show you what this looks like with the wood chips added. And I think the totality of the picture will start to make a lot more sense. We'll be right back. All right, so we got the layer of wood chips down, and I think this will start to help you guys understand what I'm talking about when I say the wood chips on these beds won't erode and go away. First we're on contour, everything's dead level, and now we've got a layer, if you look, we're about 3 inches of wood chips here, about a half inch below grade, so we're 2.5 inches above grade. We're coming up, that means we're coming up about 2 inches up the side of these beds. And this whole thing eventually will form a fungal net. If you've ever worked with wood chips, you know, eventually, you know, next second season you go to dig them up and they're all stuck and clumped together with a fungal net, fungal hyphae. So this whole thing will basically lock into one giant sponge carpet with the sponging hugel component of the buried wood underneath the beds, and then the raised beds on contour harvesting water. So what we're starting to see shape up here is the system that I described on an episode of the podcast quite a bit ago. Those of you who haven't seen the podcast, just found these videos, check out the survivalpodcast.com for more stuff like this. And as we continue building this, we'll continue to give you guys more updates. And again, I think you can start to see this, the way the whole thing fits together. Again, one big giant sponge carpet of wood. A little bit on what we got planted here. I'm going to do a perennial bed with this first little 10-foot bed. These are primocane blackberries, and I've got sunchokes planted around the periphery. No, I've never seen anybody do a polyculture with blackberries and sunchokes together before. For those who don't know, sunchoke, also known as Jerusalem artichoke. We'll see how that works out. Got some broccoli and peppers in the next bed, and I got 20 some odd tomato plants across the top of the next bed. And I got to plant some stuff in with the tomatoes. We'll get to that when we do. And until then, it's been Jack Spirko with another Survival Podcast video.